Hampshire students will respect our environment. The college will have achieved carbon neutrality and energy self-sustainability and their own health. They will prize the time they spend at Hampshire, knowing that the college wants them to succeed both at Hampshire and in the evolving world of work that they are well prepared to negotiate. In return and in expectation, they bring all their energy and commitment. Hampshire graduates will understand that our world is both one and flat, but that it is also highly particular and granular, with rich diversity in languages that must be learned so that literatures, histories, cultures, arts, and belief systems can be grasped. It is a world rich in perspectives, and that multi-perspectival world will be reflected on our campus and in students' courses of study. Hampshire's graduates chart their own courses across terrains, some of which are well signposted, others of which are new. Hampshire students seek to give more than they, than they wait to take. Our graduates do not seek a life of ease and a peaceful sinecure, but expect change. They will thrive by driving change, not by being driven. Because of its mission, its faculty, its alumni, its tradition, its enviable site, and its participation in the 5-college consortium, Hampshire College will attract serious, talented, and highly intelligent undergraduates who are ambitious and creative, who want to learn but also want to contribute. Hampshire students are open-minded and generous. Demanding of self and others, they expect to own their courses of study. In a world that is ever more fixated on information absorption and certification, the brightest, most creative, and most original students will seek out opportunities where they can master knowledge as well as exercise their creativity. Hampshire College will be extraordinarily diverse in the composition of its student body along every imaginable parameter of difference. There will be more students and faculty of color than we have at Hampshire today, and the number of international students will increase significantly. The campus will be welcoming of all, notwithstanding physical abilities, and the number of spaces not fully accessible will dwindle and eventually disappear. Over the coming years, we'll be palpably improving the physical structures of Hampshire, steadily driving down the unacceptable levels of deferred maintenance under which the college strained for far too long. Hampshire will remain a distinctive institution that will be appreciated and celebrated for both its differences and its successes. We may or may not continue to sail under the banner of the liberal arts tradition. We may or may not continue with other elements that have distinguished our curriculum and pedagogy, for example, narrative evaluations. However, just as we will have clear learning outcomes for our students and performance standards for all employees, so we will continually be measuring and assessing the value of all that we do. We will share our findings openly. Through frequent communication, the world will know the story of Hampshire and know the success of its graduates, 10,000 and growing. The student body is larger, 1,800 to 2,000, but the faculty is not proportionally larger than its current size, because Hampshire will be a leader in blending multiple modes of learning into each student's program. Professors and other academic staff are teachers, yes, but as co-learners will mentor and coach our students in accessing knowledge and advancing their learning in formats other than the traditional course, be it small or large or independent study, although all these formats will be present. A higher number of our students will be transfers, many from community colleges. A good number will traverse the curriculum in less than 4 years. We will have solid retention and graduation rates. We will have a robust summer session aligned with our mission that builds on our strength. Given the extraordinary history we have guiding students in individualized programs and the remarkably high percentage of our students that go on to graduate in professional schools, we will develop MA programs in key areas of strength, as well as develop others in collaboration with the 5-college consortium and possibly institutions elsewhere, perhaps overseas. We may well contemplate becoming Hampshire University in name as well in spirit. Though Hampshire, college or university, seeks to inspire change agents and be a change agent within the sphere of higher education and learning, we will never forget that it is an educational institution first and foremost. It is the host and germinator of informed advocacy, and though it models and operates according to enunciated values, its institutional mission is not advocacy. In line with our educational mission, we will see that students grapple with a wide range of ideas and opinions. At Hampshire, ideological and political differences will be aired in respectful and civil debate rooted in the principles of discourse. We will continue to be engaged and committed, but we will know the proper limits of zeal. We will have transparent administrative processes and structures that will earn the respect and trust of all campus constituents. We will have good means of governance with broad consultation but clear lines of authority and accountability. We will acknowledge and reward good performance just as we acknowledge and correct any failures. A solid administrative structure with clear reporting lines and accountability will prove itself the best support for an innovative academic and creative enterprise. We will succeed because we will strike and model balance between past and future, between, on the one hand, the flat world of knowledge and instantaneous online communications, and, on the other, a vibrant and intense community that can be best realized on the campus of a small college, where differences of all types cannot be sidestepped, but must be worked out through respectful dialogue. Balance between the strengths we will have on our own faculty and those we access via portals that lead to a host of other media and learning opportunities. We will in this way be a model for higher education altogether and assure the next phase of our future is one of Hampshire's most notable experiments in higher education. So my vision. I look forward to your questions. Myrna.
Your presentation was incredibly thorough, really thorough, and very transparent in terms of what you shared with the trustees and the level of analysis that's been given to these issues and problems so far. But I don't know, we have 9 minutes left for questions. And so I guess my question is, I don't think I'm the only one who's been sort of sitting here and taking notes and writing down lots of comments along the way, and many of them are very specific and technical, and some of them are broader. And I guess I'm asking, where can we go from here in terms of extending this discussion and turning it into a dialogue that has some depth to it? Because, you know, I guess I want to understand whether this was more an information session in terms of being sort of informed on what you have told the trustees you and other folks are going to be working on, or whether this was an invitation to participate in a discussion, because there were so many points of emphasis in your presentation that you know, I think we need to discuss. I mean, you talked about no fault, no whatever, but I think there are points of emphasis here in terms of remedying problems that we need to talk about, because so many of the things that were up there as suggestions or things that you think we need to sort of consider, they generate, were they to be pushed forward, there are ways in which they would actually contradict and conflict with certain priorities. I guess in my biggest mind is the issue of retention and what doing particular things to the academic program have to say in relation to retention. Things that might save us money, for example, the slide about the cost of the academic instruction. Things of that nature. So I have a long list of questions, but I just think maybe this is too short a time to even begin to, and so I'm wondering about a process that we can use for getting some of these ideas out.
Well, Myrna, I think that's incredibly important. This is, in the first instance, an information session, and by that I mean, I think it was really important, it is really important for everyone to get the information, at least as I see it. That's one view. It's the view that the board, I'm not saying that everyone on the board agrees with, but I'm glad you appreciated the fact that it was precisely what I gave to the board. 3 levels of response. First, today, I mean, this is a very small bit, but I don't think my next meeting's right away. Is that right? So at least I alone can stay and will, probably last another half hour on this. I last even longer if I could have some water. Second of all, we should try to think, and as you know, because this is so important, and I scheduled 3 such presentations.